I'd like to immediately preface this video by saying that because of how hard it is to keep track of all these tracks, I actually forgot two tracks that I would rank out of this tier, probably a lot lower than this, and I do apologize. The first of these two tracks is 3DS DK Jungle, which might be somewhere between the okay and good tier. It's a solid track and I do like the gliding section of music. It's not super memorable though. The other is SNES Donut Plains 2, which would probably fall somewhere in the mediocre section with a bunch of the other Super Mario Kart tracks. It's a plane, and it's full of donuts. Not much else to say here, let's get on to the main part of the list. Number 37 is N64 Rainbow Road, which is partially up this high on the list out of respect. We all know it's a super long track, but it's beautifully done and has beautiful music. It is a fun track to race on, but once again, it lasts too long. It's a Mario Kart icon though, and I can respect that. Number 36 is GBA Ribbon Road, one of the most genius Mario Kart track concepts at the time. It's safe to say Mario Kart 8 made it look a lot better, but I can appreciate the OG version of this track. The music is super upbeat and the track is one of the best looking in all of Super Circuit. Number 35 is Wii U Thwomp Ruins, an incredible track for the Mushroom Cup. As a matter of fact, I think there's only one Mushroom Cup track that's higher on this entire list. Thwomp Ruins incorporates the Thwomps perfectly. Thwomps are some of my favorite enemies in Mario, and I think it's really awesome that they get their own track. I like how you can choose multiple options in the middle, I like the anti-gravity section, and the music is super peaceful as well. Great track. Number 34 is 3DS Piranha Plant Slide. This track, much like Music Park, had Nintendo thinking, alright, this track is awesome, why not remake it in the very next Mario Kart game? And that they did. Anyway, Piranha Plant Slide is truly one of the most creative tracks. The underwater section makes sense, the gliding section at the end is maybe the best in all of Mario Kart 7 and 8, and the music is fun to jam to as well. Number 33 is Wii U Mute City. I definitely ranked this too low on my original top 48 Mario Kart 8 tracks list. The music and track design make this track nearly as exhilarating as Big Blue. There's even more speed boost in this track than there is in Big Blue. The Captain Falcon sign and the futuristic city are a great tribute to the F-Zero series, and the music is heart-pounding. Number 32 is GCN Bowser's Castle. Bowser's Castle on Double Dash is certainly one of the better ones in the series. The Bowser thing spitting fire at the end is epic, and the general atmosphere of this track is incredible. Considering the Bowser's Castles that came forward on the GBA, this is a major step up. And I know this isn't on a handheld, but still. The music is super great as well. To be honest, it kind of reminds me of the DS Bowser's Castle theme, but it's just better. Number 31 is Wii U Dolphin Shoals. That saxophone music should be enough to put it this high, but unfortunately it only lasts for when you're above water. Fortunately, it is there for the entirety of the last lap. But anyway, riding on an eel, awesome. The atmosphere of this track, also awesome. That turn right before the end is super fun, especially considering there's now super mini turbos. The turn right at the end is kinda stupid, but I'll give it a pass. Number 30 is Wii Grumble Volcano, one of the most underrated tracks in Mario Kart history for sure. The track collapsing after each lap was a genius idea, and the graphics are some of the best in Mario Kart Wii, and they only got better with the retro remake. The music isn't exactly something you jam to, but it fits the track perfectly, especially on the final lap. Everything's collapsed, the track is thinner, and all you hear is dun 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 dun. Pretty scary stuff. Number 29 is GBA Cheese Land. Cheese Land is so awesome that it made Nathaniel Bandy way too excited when it was revealed it would be in Mario Kart 8's DLC, so I strongly suggest you watch him react to it if you haven't. Anyway, the original Cheese Land is still pretty awesome, as it is a track made out of cheese as the title suggests. There's mice that eat the cheese, which I'm kinda disappointed wasn't back in the Mario Kart 8 version. Also, the music in the original GBA version, in my opinion, is actually catchier. Number 28 is N64 Choco Mountain. We go from one food-themed track to another. As much as I like cheese, I happen to like chocolate even more. The amount of chocolate I ate during Easter break, I don't even want to get into. Anyway, Choco Mountain is kinda simple. Dodge the falling chocolate and drift alongside the mountain. There's a few rocky hills at the end and that's about it, but I respect its simplicity as it's still a fun track to play on. Besides, the music is super duper catchy, like seriously, it gets stuck in my head at random moments in life. like I'm taking a stressful test at school, and all of a sudden, this tune creeps up in my head. Number 27 is GCN Waluigi Stadium, a Waluigi track that didn't make the legendary tier of my list. What a shocker. I still love this track though, as it fits the dirt bike style perfectly, and honestly it does a lot better without those half pipes which were added in the Mario Kart Wii version. The Piranha plants are cool, the jump at the end is cool, and the music is irresistibly catchy. Number 26 is N64 Banshee Boardwalk. Probably the scariest music you'll find in Mario Kart. It puts Ghost Valley to shame. This is honestly scarier than the music you'll find in a bad horror movie, and I bet Nintendo could never get away with this now. The track itself is creepy as well. There's that one jumping Cheep Cheep, then there's that creepy sign that says welcome. And the boardwalk itself does make it a very difficult track, but one I get constant satisfaction from playing when I do well on it. Number 25 is 3DS Maka Wuhu. Wuhu Loop did a solid job of representing Wii Sports Resort, a childhood favorite game of mine, but Maka Wuhu took it up a notch. The sunset looks beautiful, especially with the gliding section at the end of the track. Much like Wuhu Loop, Maka Wuhu is broken up into 3 individual sections. The cave section at the beginning of lap 2 is pretty awesome, and the music, as I've mentioned, is a great tribute to Wii Sports Resort. Number 24 is Wii U Mount Wario. Speaking of 3-section tracks, here we have one of the most popular tracks in Mario Kart history. Mount Wario deserves its status though, as it is definitely one of the most creative tracks ever. You start in a plane, then through a cave, then a dam, then a forest, then finally, the awesome epic gliding section at the end. Gosh, there is so much with this track. It looks beautiful, and the last lap is my favorite with the cheering crowd and everything. The music is pretty solid the first 2 laps, but it gets even more awesome and intense on the epic last lap. Number 23 is Wii Mushroom Gorge. I gotta pay my respects to the nostalgic playground known as Mushroom Gorge. This track introduced the genius idea of jumping around on mushrooms like they're trampolines, and it's still fun for me to this day. The thing that kept it out of the top 20 for me was its simplicity, but what do you want? It's a Mushroom Cup track. Besides, the music is super catchy and the track is amazingly fun to play with other people. Mostly because they tend to fall off the mushrooms, and that's kind of funny if you're good at Mario Kart. Number 22 is Wii U Cloudtop Cruise. This track could be thought of as Sky Garden's descendant, and boy oh boy, both of those tracks are pretty awesome. Anyway, Cloudtop Cruise has a beautiful track design as you drive through clouds, an airship, and that section before the end when the music changes to that epic guitar. Oh, and the music is inspired by Gusty Garden Galaxy, which really brings back some feels for me. If you can't tell already, I grew up with the Nintendo Wii. Number 21 is Wii U Electrodrome, another Wii U track as there are 25 Nitro tracks in that game. Some of them have got to be awesome, and a lot of them are. Electrodrome is one of them, as the party-like atmosphere is eye-catching. The music is something you can really get into, and the anti-gravity track design is super fun as well. Watch out for those neon piranha plants at the end though.